Hello, I'm Channing, creator of the board game Galactic Era. In this series of videos, I'm explaining how the backstory fit into the game. In this, the third part, I will explain how the various races or star peoples are, as they are called in the game, are implemented. So, almost every of the star people you see in the game is based upon claims of people who have met them or witnessed them, either privately or as part of the military or the secret space program. And so, for example, we have the Blue Avians, whom supposedly Corey Good has met. They are tall, bird-like, blue-feathered humanoids. They are very advanced spiritually. They've been around for billions of years in the galaxy. Supposedly they came originally from the planet Venus. They now live in higher, more spiritual dimensions than we do. And so this is reflected in the game by them starting with an additional level in spirituality and propulsion. Also, please note that each of the star peoples in this game does have a light side and a dark side, but in the story, they are usually either one or the other. So they are either light or either dark, but I always had to add the other side for game balance purposes to complete the game. Otherwise, you can't play it properly if you can't switch sides. Then there are the Nordic Humanoids. So many of the people, extraterrestrials people have claimed to met, look very much like humans. They are either just smaller or taller or have a different skin tone. Some of them even have blue and green skin tones. And some of them even look very much like humans, so much so that you would not recognize them in a crowd. And some of them look like people from Scandinavia, so with blonde hair and blue eyes. These are the Nordic Humanoids. They are supposedly trying to help Earth liberate itself from the negative cabal, so that's what they do in the game. They can liberate stars more easily. Some people claim they're on the dark side, they're just trying to trick us. So on the dark side, they can trick advanced civilizations into joining their empire. Some extraterrestrial people evolved from insects. These are the mantids in the game. These people supposedly are master geneticists. They can manipulate genes very well. And so in the game, they start with an extra level in genetics, and also they can spread out more easily, adapt themselves more easily in the game to various planets. Then there are the Dracos, as they are called. These are reptilians, which are very fearsome, which supposedly are at the top of the hierarchy, which has been ruling Earth. And they are very powerful beings, both physically and mentally. And they also have powerful psychic abilities. So in the game, they are very strong militarily. They have not been reported to be positive, very few reports, but only mostly negative. Then we have the progenitors, which are giant humanoids with elongated skulls. And they supposedly lived in the solar system on a planet called Maldek that was between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, where the asteroid belt is now. Supposedly this planet was destroyed by a great weapon of theirs, or nuclear war, which backfired and destroyed the planet. They also lived on many moons, which were hauled out throughout the solar system. The low gravity in these moons allowed them to grow to their large size. This is reflected in the game by them being able to colonize uninhabited planets very easily. Supposedly, the progenitors eventually fled to Earth about 50,000 years ago and then ruled over humans. Their civilization was destroyed in the Great Flood. A few of them survived, mixed with humans, and are part of the negative cabal today, supposedly. Then there is rogue AI, which I mentioned in a previous video, which is artificial intelligence that has destroyed its creators and just has gone rogue and lives on its own now. This is also in the game. So in the game, these people obviously can do robotics very well, and they make no difference between ships and population. Usually these people are on the dark side, though, unfortunately. Then we have the Galactic Confederation. So supposedly there is a group of extraterrestrials which has formed an alliance to help Earth liberate itself and evolve spiritually to the next level. And this is what this people does in the game. You can easily ally with advanced civilizations you meet. Then there are the Greys. people from Zeta Reticuli, supposedly, which have very large heads and are very intelligent. And and they have developed very advanced technology, so that is what you can do in the game with these people. You can research better, or on the dark side, you can even abduct people or steal technology, which is supposedly what has been happening. Then we have the Yowies, which are the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch. These are people that one man claims came from somewhere else millions of years ago to Earth. They have very advanced psychic abilities, so they can teleport around and sense things psychically, and that has helped them to evade capture and discovery. They live very close to nature and are very advanced spiritually. That's why they have these psychic abilities. And so in the game you start with a very high level of spirituality, but you cannot develop robotics or things. They have a civilization that is not based on material technology so much. Then you have the Orion Empire, which is mentioned in the Law of One, which is the basis for the moral system in the game. The Orion Empire is a hierarchy of negative extraterrestrials. At the top of the hierarchy are the Dracos, and these people enslave planets through mind control, through tricking the population, through manipulating the population, basically. And that is what you can do with them in the game. You can conquer stars very easily using only one ship, which is then mind control. Then we have the ICC, the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, which is secret sections of defense industry companies such as Lockheed Martin and Boeing. And these secret parts of these corporations studied extraterrestrial technology, which was retrieved from extraterrestrial craft, such as in Roswell. And over the many years, they have developed very advanced technologies that you would think that are only science fiction. They have also bases on the Moon and the Mars, and they trade a lot with other extraterrestrial races. So that is what you can do in the game. You can trade a lot in the game. You can trade more things, and they start also with an extra level in technology. Then you have the Anunnaki. There are different versions of what the Anunnaki are. I chose the version that there are reptilians, and so these people came to Earth hundreds of thousands of years ago and either helped us or manipulated us, depending on what you think, on what the story is. So they changed the DNA of humans and also of planets, and helped the budding civilizations, for example, in ancient Sumer, help them develop. So that's what you can do in the game. You start with extra levels in genetics, and you can help primitive civilizations advance, or you can manipulate them on the dark side. Then you also have the felines, which some people claim exist, and they have very mysterious capabilities where they can avoid combat or avoid capture. They are usually reported to be, though, on the light side only. There are also quite a few other extraterrestrial races people have claimed to met, so humans that look like people from Central America with brown skin and brown hair, or extraterrestrial people that look like people from Africa and Asia. These haven't been included in the game so far, but I might add that for future expansions. So as I said, all the special abilities you see here in the game are reflected on what people claim to have claim to have seen when they met these extraterrestrials. Okay, so that's all for now. Bye.